In this video, you're going to learn about the various engines that FlowWright has and the purpose of each one of these engines, what they do. So you can easily view the engines if you go in the status menu and click on status. Once you do that, go into the menu and information and services. So as you can see, FlowWright has 7 different services. Looking at the screen, you can see this little heartbeat on, which means that this service is currently running and all the other services are not running. So this FlowWright engine service, mainly its goal is to process workflows. Anytime you ask a workflow to be processed, this engine launches a child process, and that child process works on that particular selected workflow instance and performs the work. The next service is the FlowWright ESB service. Whenever events arrive within FlowWright ESB, the ESB engine service will process these requests using this particular service and also using child processes. We have the next is the FlowWright archival service. In environments where you produce a lot of workflow instances, it's always good to archive the data so that the main tables that FlowWright works with are fully optimized and also has less data to work with. More data you have in tables, more time it takes to build indexes and slow performance and all that. So to improve performance, you can archive. We move the data into other tables within the same database when archiving, and you can set up this to be archived within FlowWright at different time intervals and all that, and the archival service will process this archival. The next is the statistical service. The statistical service does a couple of different things. It does things like collecting statistical data on workflow instances, things like steps, how many number of times a step is used by different workflows. It also does other computations for us, things like BI reports that needs to be computed in the background. So that is the statistics service. The next thing is the trigger service. As you know, FlowWright has various different triggers, and these triggers are managed by the trigger service. So for example, if emails are coming to an email box or files are coming to a folder, this trigger service will monitor for those and launch the workflows that you need or that you have configured for the trigger. The next is the FlowWright email service. All emails going out of FlowWright are put into this email queue, and that email queue is processed using this service. This service also has things like retry and all that built into it, and you can always view the queue and see what's sent, what's not sent, but it's all processed using the email service. The next is a DFS service. If you have multiple servers processing in a load balanced environment, then you can use this service to synchronize files across these servers. So for example, if you're designing a form on one server, and you might include some custom JavaScript, custom CSS, now those files needs to exist on the secondary server or the load balance server. You can have the DFS configured so that this service will automatically synchronize those custom items that you put into one server, and to make sure that both environments are exactly same and accessible by users and also by workflows. And this is an overview of the 7 different services that FlowWright uses to process things within various parts of the application.